Hey everyone, it's Brit3 over, and I'm here to this my review for Captain America: Brave New World, the new film directed by Julius Onah, and starring Anthony Mackie, Harrison Ford, Daniel Ramirez, and also Tim Blake Nelson in the lead roles. Now, this is one of those movies that you can categorize as a shrug film. You watched it, you didn't love it, you didn't hate it, it just kind of was there. It entertained you for the time that it was playing for, but you're not going to remember it in, a day or even after a couple hours. Literally, after watching Captain America: Brave New World, I literally forgot that I watched the film because it's not that memorable. MCU is heading towards diminishing returns with the majority of the films that they're putting out. Again, the MCU films are not horrible, but they're not memorable anymore. The thing is, after Endgame, I feel like it's very tough to make every movie into an event, because when you culminates all the films that you made into this one mega event like Endgame, it's really hard to top that. And the thing is, ever since Endgame, outside of, No Way Home and, Deadpool and Wolverine, where like a lot of characters are teaming up with each other that you would never expect to team up, most of their films in the MCU have been kind of meh. And Brave New World is very meh. Julius Onah, who's the director of this film, directed the weakest Cloverfield film, The Cloverfield Paradox. And unfortunately for him, he's also directed the weakest Captain America film as well. Now, Anthony Mackie is admirably really good here. I think that he's trying his best to shoulder a film which doesn't really have steam. He's good. And I feel like as a solo hero, he does a great job of, trying his best in making a story that's kind of dull into something that's very exciting. He is very charismatic as his role as the new Captain America. And, everyone else in this film is okay, but I think that the jokes didn't really work out. It's the writing here that kind of like backfires for this film. And Tim Blake Nelson, who plays the main villain in this movie, is just a mediocre villain. I did not feel anything whenever he was on screen. He wasn't really menacing. He was just kind of there. But he's a good actor, but I feel like it's not his fault. It's just the writing itself. And, you get scenes with the Red Hulk, and you have this big action sequence with the I forgot what it's called, but that big statue in the water. Yeah, the action sequences are okay, but they're not exciting. There's no thrills. There's nothing where it's like, oh my god, that's pretty cool. Everything was just kind of there. It's just very standard and just kind of, you've seen better in other previous MCU films or probably in any other superhero movie. I think the biggest mistake that this film did was the trailers were marketing this movie as this political thriller / conspiracy thriller. And I really hoped, and I shouldn't have, hoped about this because I know that MCU was never going to go into a genre-based film, but I was really hoping that they were going to go really deep into like a Manchurian Candidate kind of film, or, something along the lines of like a political thriller where there's conspiracies and there's a lot of backstabbing and there's a lot of power plays happening in politics. But we get that in small doses, but overall, this movie's just a run-of-the-mill superhero film, and I was just really disappointed. There are moments here that work out, like the chase scene with the old Captain America through the Washington, D.C., monuments and stuff. That was kind of cool, but otherwise, it was just run-of-the-mill. I literally don't remember much of this film because it was just kind of mediocre, and a lot of MCU fans that I know were really disappointed by this movie. I don't think I was as disappointed as them because I'm not a really MCU fan, but overall as a movie, it's just a 6 out of 10. There's nothing really going for it, and it's serviceable, but it's not amazing. It's not something where it's like, when you watched Infinity War, or when you watched, the Civil War, or, the first Avengers, or the first Guardians, or, any of the Spider-Man films. When you watch this movie, there's no, sense of awe and astonishment that you saw in those films. This is just a run-of-the-mill, serviceable, kind of a tick the checkbox of like, I have seen this movie, if you're doing like a marathon of the Marvel films. But yeah, this literally could have been just like a short film that, you can tell right before the next Marvel Universe film. Because again, I just felt like it was just okay for what it was. Not remarkable to the to the least that I can say, but I don't even know what to say. I'm just trying to kill time here. But yeah, 6 out of 10. If you're a Marvel fan, go watch it, I guess. But if you're not, you can skip this. Nothing really remarkable here. But yeah, once you've seen Captain America, Brave New World, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the film.